Good afternoon, FUS community. My name is Sean Kenny with the Franciscan Beat, bringing you today's top headlines from on campus and around the world. But before we begin, I encourage you to subscribe to the Franciscan Beat YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the latest and greatest news from our campus. Italian Freemasons have said they will appeal to Pope Francis for support after the local Catholic bishop reiterated the Catholic Church's condemnation on Freemasonry in light of renewed Masonic activity in the area. Local Freemasons in the Archdiocese of Chieti Vasto in eastern Italy have declared that they will see, quote, rapid and active intervention, end quote, from Pope Francis after Archbishop Bruno Forte reminded the Archdiocese of the Catholic Church's strict ban on participating in Masonic activities. Forte stated that, quote, the condemnation of Freemasonry remains unchanged. Second, Catholics who belong to a lodge are in state of grave sin and cannot take communion. Third, no exceptions are allowed, unquote. His letter was prompted by renewed public activities organized by Masons of the Sovereign Arabian Phoenix Lodge in Forte's Archdiocese, including a conference at the Lacone Hotel on Francesco di Assisi, mysticism or esotericism. Many locals protested the conference, calling the Masons absolute evil. The Venerable Master Ginevra Di Nicola stated that the protest represented social hatred. Di Nicola added that the Masons would invite Bruno Forte to their next meeting. Archbishop Forte's condemnation of Freemasonry is perhaps surprising given that his own track record on ecumenical matters strays from the Catholic teaching. In a conference last year in Rome, the Archbishop echoed and made his own a call to end the Catholic Church's mission of converting the Jews. He also served as special secretary to the 2014 Synod on the Family and was credited with writing the Synod's controversial midterm report, which suggested the Church emphasize the positive aspects of its as it considers to be mortally sinful as adultery, premarital sex, and homosexual relations. The charity volunteer and the priest on trial for praying in an abortion facility censorship zone have both been acquitted of all charges in a ruling handed down by Birmingham Magistrates Court this morning. In a viral video in December, Vagon Spruce was seen being searched and arrested by 3 police officers after saying that she might be praying inside her head. The area surrounding the facility nearby which she prayed has been covered by a local Public Spaces Protection Order, or PSPO, in force since November, which prohibits prayer, distributing information about pregnancy help services, and other activities considered to constitute protest. The volunteer, who has supported women in crisis pregnancies for over 20 years, was charged with protesting and engaging in an act that is intimidating to service users, despite the fact that the abortion facility was closed during the time in which she was present and praying, and despite her clear statement that she was not there to protest. In the coming weeks, the House of Commons will debate the rollout of censorship zones across Great Britain. Clause 9 of the Public Order Bill would criminalize any form influencing outside abortion facilities, which would include prayer, with a potential prison sentence of up to 2 years. In what promises to be a landmark legal case with broad implications for the entire nation, a group of United Airlines or UAL employees terminated, laid off, or otherwise living in limbo after being denied religious exemptions from their company's COVID-19 quote-unquote vaccine mandate has filed a lawsuit claiming that the airline colluded with the U.S. government, acting as its puppet to force employees to receive a dangerous experimental drug that actually isn't a vaccine but a form of gene therapy. Their case asserts that when the Biden administration's unconscionable goal of requiring every working person across the United States to submit to the COVID-19 jab was stymied by Congress and the courts, the administration found a willing accomplice in the private sector to carry out its totalitarian intent. 30 brave men and women have joined together in this legal complaint to let UAL know that there is a high price to pay for willfully deceiving, coercing, harassing, and inflicting grave physical harm on Americans by enforcing an unfounded, unjustifiable, dangerous medical mandate. At the same time, they are the proverbial canary in the coal mine. The employer's unrestrained, nightmarish treatment in response to their sincere attempt to follow their consciousness and remain true to their religious beliefs is a warning to all Americans that the woke religion of the increasingly Marxist government demands unswerving fealty. The high-profile attorney representing them, John M. Pierce, is also currently representing the Carter page regarding FISA abuse and Laura Loomer in her RICO suit against big tech giants, and is legal counsel for more than 20 of the January 6th defendants. All of these cases are not only hugely consequential to U.S. conservatives, but their outcome will play a role in determining if America will retain her founding drift or drift further towards an inhuman Marxist existence. Their case, 321 points spanning 64 pages, naming UAL, its executives, and UAL board members as defendants, was filed on January 19th in Cook County, Illinois, where United Airlines is headquartered. This case, so to speak, has flown underneath the radar, garnering little attention until now. While other airlines pressured their cockpit and cabin crews, ground crews, and others to submit to the COVID-19 vaccine, quote-unquote, they stopped short of mandating it as requisite to remain employed. United Airlines was different. According to pilot Tom Anderson, UAL made it clear to its thousands of employees, it's the jab of your job. If we win, if we prevail, it will set a precedent so that no other employer could ever do this to their employees again, said Floyd. On to campus news. The Shaw-Smith Interprofessional Collaboration Conference will be Saturday, February 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the J.C. Williams Center. This event is free and open to all undergraduate or graduate students, staff, and faculty. The theme of the student presentations will be grit, growth, resiliency, improvisation, and tenacity. Registration will begin at 9:45 a.m. and the conference introduction will be at 10 a.m. Attendees will have time to have their lunch on their own between 12:15 and 1. The last session will end at 3 p.m. As for today's weather, today was a high of 61 degrees. Tonight expect temperatures around 38. Tomorrow is going to be cloudy with a high of 42. Next few days are going to fluctuate between the mid-40s and low 50s. And that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Franciscan Beat News Show. My name is Sean Kenny. I will see you all tomorrow. Good night, Steubenville.